and magandang Jensen. I am your presenter for today. I am Maria Estrelleta Sonio, and our topic for today's discussion is all about cognitivism approach. So what is cognitivism? Cognitivism is a learning theory that focuses on how information is received, organized, stored, and retrieved by the mind. So it uses the mind as an information processor like a computer. In this view, learners are actively involved in the way they process information. In here, students are learning by doing, and also students are more active than passive learning. So cognitivism, it's also called cognitive, or from the word cognition, it means that it is the ability to think. So cognitivism is look beyond observable behavior. So it is viewing learning as eternal mental process. So also, cognitivism is look beyond observable behavior. So viewing learning as eternal mental process. So learners are actively involved in the way they process information. And also cognitivism is concerned with what learners should know and how they acquire what they have learned. And it also emphasizes retention and recall. So there is many researchers that contributed to the development of cognitive learning theory like Bronner's, Vygotsky, Bloom's, but Piaget's view has a tremendous impact on cognitivism. So who is Jean Piaget? So Jean Piaget is a Swiss psychologist. He knows of his works on child's development. So he focused on intellectual development of a children. According to him, we construct new understanding to the world based on what we already know. He described the child as an constructivist. Child is individual who act on reality, depend on the knowledge that we have, or the more immature that the child's cognitive system, it means that it's more or limit he have or she had limited interpretation of the event. So Jean Piaget also he is the cognitivist that viewed knowledge as symbolic. Mental construct is a schema or scheme. So what is the scheme? Scheme is look like a hard drive. So para itong hard drives that the learners fills with folders containing everything that we know. So scheme can be defined as cognitive structures. So it is form the basis organizing action and mental representation so that we can understand and act upon the environment or the world around us. So schemes makes of or a form of reference in which we filtered new information. So therefore, everything that we know start with the schemes that we are actually born with. So according to Jean Piaget, we have the schema in our brain. In here, in the schema that we had, this is kung paano yung mga naririnig natin, natatanggap natin mga information, doon natin napaprocess yun sa schema. And this schema, there is a cycles of schemes. So first cycle is the equilibrium. Equilibrium is the balancing of new information with old knowledge. So for example, if a child have seen a four-legged dog, for example, she saw that in a picture, at then nakakita din siya ng isang bagay na katulad dun sa nakita niya. Like for example, four-legged din. So of course, the child we're going to label those scene na nakita niya doon sa katulad ng sa dog. So of course, sasabihin na niya, dog yung nakita niya. But then, in the process, the second process of the cycle of schemes, which is the assimilation, taking a new information into our previously existing scheme. So of course, yung nakita niya na four-legged siya. Yung sinabi nga na taking new information doon sa mga previous knowledge niya. So nakita niya, so hindi pala dog yon kasi nakita niya, yes, four-legged animals, but then it is smaller than the dog. So, parang dito sa assimilation, parang nadidevelop yung thinking ng isang bata. Then, pupunta tayo sa cycle of schemes. The third cycle is the accommodation. Yung knowledge niya na, ito pala, four-legged animals, then smaller than dogs. So, it is caught. So, here in accommodation, it is changing or altering our existing schemes in light of new information. So we're going to proceed to the last cycle of schemes, which we call the organization. So organization is the developing new distinct schemes. This is the last cycles of schema to develop distinctive schema within the world they are facing. Just like the example that I have given before, in here in organization, the child's organized that a dog is a have four-legged legs and it can bark, and cat is a has four-legged and it can meow. So the heart of cognitivism is the schema. We all understand that the heart of cognitivism is recurring process in the overall purpose of education. So the purpose of schemes is for the learners to gain, to remember, and apply the information. For as a future teacher, it is very important to take note that learners are active participants in a learning process. And what we need to pay particular attention to know, learners structures or organize and sequence information in order to facilitate optimal learning. We don't focus in memorization or repetition, instead teach students the fundamental lifelong learning. With that, I will end my video reporting about cognitivism approach. Once again, I am Maria Estrelleta Sonyo, saying good, holy, and mabuhay.